Did you know that NASA is actually funding research into suspended animation for Mars missions right now? While we've been watching sci-fi heroes wake up from cryosleep pods for decades, the real science is closer to reality than you might think. But here's the catch: the challenges are so extreme that they make surviving in space look easy. Picture this: Ellen Ripley awakening from hypersleep in Alien, or Master Chief emerging from his cryopod in Halo. These iconic scenes have shaped our imagination about long-distance space travel. But strip away the Hollywood magic, and you're left with one of the most complex biological puzzles humanity has ever attempted to solve. The fundamental problem is simple to understand but incredibly difficult to overcome. When you freeze living tissue, water inside cells turns to ice. Those ice crystals act like tiny daggers, puncturing cell membranes and destroying the delicate structures that keep us alive. It's like trying to preserve a balloon by filling it with broken glass. This is why current cryonics companies freeze people after death, not before. They're essentially gambling on future technology being able to repair the massive cellular damage caused by the freezing process. It's a bet on tomorrow's miracles, not today's science. But researchers aren't giving up. They're taking inspiration from nature's own masters of suspended animation. Arctic ground squirrels can survive months in near-freezing temperatures by dropping their metabolism to just 2% of normal levels. Their hearts beat once every few minutes, their breathing becomes almost imperceptible, and their body temperature hovers just above freezing. The secret isn't stopping biological processes entirely, it's slowing them down to an almost frozen crawl. Think of it like putting your body's engine in the lowest possible gear while keeping it running. This approach avoids the catastrophic ice crystal formation that destroys frozen tissue. Scientists at companies like SpaceWorks Enterprises are developing therapeutic hypothermia systems that could keep astronauts in a torpor-like state for weeks or months. They're using techniques already proven in hospitals, where doctors cool patients during complex surgeries to protect their organs from damage. The process involves carefully lowering body temperature to around 33 degrees Celsius, about 4 degrees below normal. At this temperature, metabolism drops by roughly 70%. The person remains alive and their organs function, but at a dramatically reduced rate. It's like biological slow motion. But even this seemingly modest temperature drop creates enormous challenges. The human body fights temperature changes aggressively. Your natural shivering response would burn through energy reserves rapidly. Researchers must use specialized drugs to suppress these reactions while maintaining just enough biological activity to prevent organ failure. The cardiovascular system presents another nightmare scenario. Blood becomes thicker at lower temperatures, making it harder for the heart to pump. Clotting becomes more likely, potentially causing strokes or heart attacks. Meanwhile, the kidneys struggle to filter waste products from sluggish blood flow. Perhaps most critically, the brain remains vulnerable throughout the process. Even small disruptions in oxygen or glucose delivery can cause permanent damage. Researchers must maintain an incredibly delicate balance, slow enough to gain the benefits of reduced metabolism, but not so slow that critical systems fail. Japanese scientists have made remarkable progress studying how certain fish survive being frozen solid in Arctic waters. These creatures produce antifreeze proteins that prevent ice crystals from forming in their tissues. Researchers are now exploring whether similar proteins could protect human cells during extended hibernation. The timeline challenges are equally daunting. Current therapeutic hypothermia can only be maintained safely for days, not the months or years needed for interplanetary travel. Extended periods in this state lead to muscle atrophy, bone loss, and immune system degradation. Astronauts would need to wake up weaker than when they entered hibernation. NASA's vision for Mars missions includes rotating crew members through hibernation cycles. Instead of keeping everyone asleep for the entire journey, they would take turns in reduced metabolic states. This approach spreads the biological risks while maintaining some active crew members to monitor systems and handle emergencies. The psychological aspects add another layer of complexity. What happens to consciousness during extended hibernation? Would astronauts experience dreams, nightmares, or complete absence of awareness? Early research suggests that even in deep hypothermia, some level of brain activity continues. Current estimates suggest that therapeutic hibernation might reduce life support requirements by 75% for Mars missions. That's a game-changing reduction in food, water, and oxygen needs. It could make the difference between feasible and impossible for long-duration spaceflight. The ethical questions surrounding human hibernation research are profound. How do you test these systems safely? Animal studies only provide limited insights into human physiology. Eventually, brave volunteers will need to risk their lives to advance this technology. Real suspended animation remains decades away, but the progress is undeniable. What seemed like pure fantasy when Stanley Kubrick filmed 2001, A Space Odyssey is now serious scientific research backed by major institutions. The journey from science fiction to scientific reality has always been humanity's greatest adventure. While we're not ready to sleep among the stars yet, each breakthrough brings us closer to that dream. The question isn't whether we'll achieve suspended animation, but when we'll be brave enough to trust our lives to it. What fascinates you most about suspended animation research? Are you excited about the possibilities or concerned about the risks? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the science behind our favorite sci-fi concepts. Hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest explorations of tomorrow's technology.